The higher I get, the lower I sink. I can't drown my demons, they know how to swim. Can you recognize those lyrics? It's from the band Bring Me the Horizon, and this song is Drown. This was a song that I did it for the first time. I still remember it so vividly. I was here in my room and I had this song playing on my laptop on the edge of the table. And I was there sitting. I had my razor blade in my hands. And I did it. I cut myself for the first time. It was so painful to watch it. So painful. It brought up so much sadness in me. The tears started rolling down. I was numb till that moment for a long time. It all started when I was just a child. When I wanted to feel the blame, to feel the sadness, and to feel the pain. I wanted to feel guilty, in a sense. It really doesn't make sense, but I wanted to feel the guilt. So I made myself feel guilty for everything that was happening around me. And from guilt, it started to turn into sadness. It started to turn into frustration and then into numbness. I felt like my bucket is empty. Like I didn't have anything to give out. I couldn't cry any more tears. I couldn't feel any more hate, anger, feeling lost, running in circles. I didn't feel it. All I felt was that stubborn numbness, emptiness, nothing. And it drove me crazy. I just wanted to feel something. And if that was physical pain, I'm okay with it. I just wanted to feel alive again. I felt like I don't recognize myself anymore. This wasn't me and I wasn't living. I was just surviving from day to day. Just being there like a shadow of what my life used to look like. I was dragging myself from day to day. And I knew that this was no life to live. And I had that turning point when I was at a psychiatrist for the first time. There I was sitting because I lied to my parents that I feel like I'm getting sick, which I was. I was sick, but not physically. I had some health issues, but I felt that emotional burden on my shoulders. So there I was admitting it for the first time that I'm totally addicted to self-harming at the age of 15 to my doctor. And then there I was sitting at a psychiatrist for the first time. And I don't know what got in me, but she wanted to put me on medications. But I knew that medications won't help, that they will just mask symptoms so I won't feel them, but the problem will still be here and it will be bigger and bigger every year. I knew that with masking these symptoms, I won't feel the freedom, the happiness. I won't feel that I'm alive. I wanted to feel alive so hard. So I said no. No, I won't take medications. I created it. That's why I can reverse it also. I swear I don't know what got in me that day. It was last bits of love that I felt to myself. And I went in the journey of feeling it all, going through it, and then stepping in my power to reverse it. And it was no easy journey. I became addicted to so many things because the pain was too big. It was too intense. Then my mental health would get worse and worse. I started also to take a lot of medications, like painkillers, because also my gut health issues started at around the same age as my mental health issues started. And I also started to take contraceptive pills. And those really messed up my hormones. And all of my mental health issues became even worse. To the point where I've had social anxiety, panic attacks. I was running in a loop of panic attacks. At first I had them every day, and I literally felt like I will die. Like this will be the day that I will die, and oh my gosh, I'm dying. I didn't even know that those are panic attacks, to be honest. Until I went to emergency where they told me that. And I was so messed up. I felt like a puppet in my own freaking life. I had absolute no control over anything. I was so anxious that every time that I woke up, I felt like in a dream. Not even kidding. Everywhere that I look, I felt like I am dreaming and that this is surreal. And all day long, I was feeling dizzy. Oh, I hated that dizziness. It was disgusting. And my heart was beating so fast all day, every day. I was so anxious. I was overthinking so much. And this made me to get yet in another panic attack at night, where I would be in this episode for about 6 hours. I couldn't even sleep. I was just shaking and waiting the moment that I will collapse and I will just stop existing. I couldn't decide for myself because I wasn't myself. When I looked myself in the mirror, I didn't even recognize myself. For a few moments, I got a feeling that I just left my body. It was so insanely strange. I also had no control over my decisions at all. I was cheating my boyfriend at the time and I couldn't care less. I didn't know how to say yes. I didn't know how to say no. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know why I am here. I didn't know what is happening to me. I didn't know what will happen to me. I didn't know why this happened to me. I didn't know, and I didn't know. I didn't know anything because I was so confused. I was out of it. I was a puppet in my own show called life. I didn't know how to get out of this. Why would I want to get out of this? Do I want to get out of this? I was just existing. And there was also my gut health issues. They started with just a simple stomach ache. You know, stomach aches are normal. Or are they common? Don't seem that normal to me. But then that progressed into feeling nauseous. The pain intensified to the point where I wasn't even able to stand up. So I needed to lay down and just wait till the next morning, although I took some pain medications, but they wouldn't help. So I need to excuse myself again and again and again. And people to me close, they knew that I couldn't continue with that evening because I was in too much pain and I needed to lay down and just wait until it's over. The first time that this happened to me, I was in a city with friends and there it was, that pain in my stomach, so I just sat down and just wanted to ignore it, to brush it off. But I couldn't. And then I needed to excuse myself and I went home. It was a 20-minute walk. And when I was standing at my doorstep, like I was shivering from pain and crying from pain, and then I just collapsed on my bed. And funny thing is, at first I thought that I'm just hungry, so I stuffed myself with just anything. I didn't really connect food with my well-being at that time. So that progressed into me having diarrheas whenever I wouldn't be constipated. It was so embarrassing for me because, let me tell you a funny story. Like one time I went to the bathroom at my best friend's house and I of course had diarrhea, and then I went out and the whole house smelled, and her mother thought that it was her dad that went on the toilet because he had some issues, and I felt so embarrassed because that was me. It was so embarrassing, and I had so many problems with gas also, so I would just I didn't want to let it out in public places, especially because, I'm a woman, I'm a girl, like, I don't smell bad. It was so embarrassing. And there was also this nausea. It would start in the morning, and then it would just progress through the day to the point where at some point I would just puke after my meals because I felt so nauseous. It would be happening weekly. And let me tell you, I didn't enjoy food, I didn't enjoy my life, I didn't enjoy myself. And I felt stuck because I didn't know what to do. Like, I felt so frustrated and angry at my life. I didn't know where I was heading, and I didn't know what I was doing. Little did I know where all of this came from. I hated it, hated my life so bad. All sides of my life. I couldn't make one decision for myself. Until one day my best friend recommended me, hey, but what if you are intolerant on gluten? And then I just said like, haha, no, like, I don't know. I don't see the connection between food and well-being. Like, I just don't know. And then I went on with my issues and everything until I had enough and I tried it. I ditched gluten and I felt a massive change. I actually felt change in my digestion, but wait a minute, also in my mental health. Who would have thought, huh? And suddenly I started to see this connection between food and health and well-being, and how actually gut health is connected to mental health. Then I started to experiment with my dietary choices, and then life led me into becoming raw vegan, which turned my life upside down, and I couldn't be more grateful for it. These simple raw foods have such power and do wonders to our body. And with raw foods, I actually healed my chronic digestive issues. But with that, I also healed all of the other symptoms, including mental health issues. From being a puppet in my life to being completely free of my mental health issues, my physical health issues. Oh, it was such a relief for me. I found myself again. I fell in love again with life. And the best thing is, I started to live instead of just survive. I started to be conscious about my choices, and I started to be and feel empowered. I was in power of my own life. Oh, I wasn't a puppet anymore. I started to play the main character. And with healing my gut, I changed my whole life. The gut connection with anything basically is insane. Because gut issues weren't on the way anymore. I started to live my purpose. I started to choose my desires instead of just choosing things out of the survival mode. You see, God is such a big part in our health, and it plays such an important role. Because God is the one that is playing the role of absorbing. Just this word holds enough importance to actually absorb things so that all of the other organs get it, so that they can also work optimally. And also in our gut there is produced the majority, actually more than 90% of our happiness hormones. So actually our gut health is indicator of our mental health. Your dietary choices are so important. That you focus on foods that are the most absorbable and the easiest to digest with the least effort, so that you can actually absorb those things, so that your organs actually get those things. And to also make sure that you are eating foods that have the right ratio of nutrients. Not being richer in that or being richer in that, but the question is that which foods have the right ratio of nutrients, so that those nutrients can actually convert the easiest and with the least effort into our fuel, so that we actually have energy for the other organs also to work optimally, so that digestion doesn't take all the energy. That's why you feel tired after meals. That's why you feel brain fog. You can't think straight. That's why you experience those digestive issues, because food gets stuck, because it isn't aligned with our human design of our body. It doesn't match us the pH of our digestive fluids. The nutrients aren't in the right ratio to convert, because one nutrient needs the other to change form into being actually absorbable by our cells. Gut health is the base of, I want to say, everything. With healing my gut, I healed everything. And by keeping my gut health optimal, I am achieving more and more and more optimal quality of life every year. And I couldn't be more grateful for it. So because I want you to experience this also, I actually decided, if you watched until the end, I decided to host a live free masterclass about it, where I will tell you how exactly did I get rid of my chronic digestive issues without any medications or restrictive diets. Thank you for investing your time into listening to this podcast. For more health inspiration, follow me on social media down below.